when it comes to like me being surrounded by my friends in real life, right? I'm the sort of person where I don't like the place to be very quiet. Usually, if let's say the group isn't like conversation starters, you can imagine myself being surrounded by introverts or something. I'll be the guy to be okay, I'll start the topic for you all. But if there's someone in the group that's super energetic, right, then I will just stay back. I'll be like, okay, I'll listen to this guy, that sort of thing. So even one to one, I hang out with my friends a lot and I enjoyed it. Even I feel like the past few days for me, I've been relaxing for quite a bit. Just yesterday, I was meeting up with my old friends, and then today to talk to you, I'm also feeling like I get to talk to an old friend as well. We've known each other for a while already. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
When was the first time you met?
Oh my god, it must have been in my first like couple months of streaming. I think you rated me.
Is it?
It might have even been when I was just like a voice actually before my VTuber model.
Huh? Really?
It might have been. I was only like just a voice for like 2 months before I made my first VTuber model. I think you were like one of my first raids.
Oh, wait. So if I was, do you start streaming before me?
I think you started like I think we started at around the same time, if not like just a month or two off each other.
I know which month I started. I started in July 2020.
I started maybe like in October, so not too far
Very,
ahead,
very
not
close.
too far behind you.
Okay.
Or at least that's when I was a VTuber actually. When I was a voice, it was like maybe like 2
Much
months
earlier.
before that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just 2 months before October. So
Hmm.
yeah.
In any case, this is for the video's sake. So I think people need to be a little aware as to who's on the other end. So this is Lotte, Labrys right over here. You stream very, very much regularly on Twitch. I do believe that you are running a YouTube, although I'm not too certain as to the activeness. But yes, welcome Lotte to the video of ours, and I think you can do a little intro of yourself also.
Okay,
No nervousness, no worries.
No, I have to be nervous. Otherwise, Cookie won't let me out of his basement. I
What?
haven't seen the sun in 2 months.
I don't keep you anywhere.
It smells like dirty socks and stinking
Oh my
laundry down
goodness.
here.
No.
Please, he only
Guys,
knows
don't
me.
misunderstand. Don't
He only knows
misunderstand.
me.
If this is the
only
intro,
knows
if
me
this was the intro, this
a
is
bag of
beautiful.
rice. He only throws me a bag of rice every other week, and he said if I do good on today's talk, then he can add some meat there once in a while. So I'll do my best.
You know when you
I
say
need
that,
protein.
when you say that I give you a bag of rice, right? You're reminding me of how sometimes my editor talk to me. So whenever I pay my editors, they are like, "Oh my god, I get to eat rice now. So when will I add the chicken to it?" That's like what some of them will say to me. But even giving you rice is pretty nice, actually.
It makes sense. Your fellow editors live with me down here in the basement, after all.
Oh my god, I keep everyone in the basement. Everyone
so you
is.
admit it then.
No. I have no basement to be said. Sad to say. I wish I was living in like a humongous house. Humongous house. But I don't.
Mungus?
If I think a way to tell whether someone has a huge house is if they have a basement, or if not, they have a rooftop. Like a what do you call a house that has a rooftop? What's that top part called? It's
like an attic?
yes, an attic. Yeah. That's when you know that someone is living in the house. But yeah, I have no attic. I have a singular floor and a few rooms in my place. That's the way that I live.
I live in a condo too, so.
Oh, Canada has condos? I never knew. Oh.
Yes, we have condos. We have apartment buildings. We have every type of housing, even igloos.
Even igloos?
Well, that's in Nineveh, like the far north. But yeah.
I never knew that. I mean,
you just assumed that everybody lived in like a suburban house with like roofs and...
that's like my impression of like I guess like US in specific, not Canada actually. I would have thought
the US has a shit ton of like condos and apartments as well. It's literally because
I
the
didn't know
housing
that they would
prices
call
are so
it.
bad.
I didn't know they would call it condos as well. I thought condos was such like a Singaporean term over here because it's very common for people to live in it. Although for me, I live in an apartment building, which over here they call it a HDB, but I think over there, yeah, they just say apartment building. So, my eyes have opened to the world. It goes to say that I really don't know much about other places. I really want to, nowadays, right, when my friends ask me, like, we talk about whether we want to stay overseas and whatnot, I keep telling them I feel like Canada's a good place
Oh, have I
to
been?
actually
Have I
go.
been?
I
Have I
maybe I've
been
been maybe I've been
influencing you?
yeah, maybe I could have been influenced by you. I could have been influenced by a few other people who, like my viewers who live in Canada as well, and then I hear the things that you guys say. Like, thus far, right? No, not one person says something bad about Canada yet. Like
Kind of
other
boring here, not
countries,
gonna lie.
yeah. Hey, boring is nice. I don't
Unless you're an
need
outdoorsy
entertainment.
person, it's boring.
I think it's perfectly fine that it's boring. I want like just a nice, comfortable place to just stay in. The reason why I think about like whether or not to move from where I live is that the country that I live in, that is Singapore. When people say climate change is real and whatnot, yeah, over here I feel like climate change is freaking real. My country is just 1 degree above the equator. So as the years
Ah.
gets worse with that global warming thing, we feel freaking hot right now. Like right now over here, I've got a full-on fan beside me. My biggest fan right here. Okay, I need this to
Damn
blow.
it! I thought I was the biggest fan
No,
of
no,
you. Twitch.tv/Cookie
but no, I always need a constant fan to like blow me all the time. If not
Yeah, you really like getting blown at, huh?
yeah but yeah, it's just so hot. Even when I sleep and all, I tend to wake up like feeling a little bit like I probably drenched in sweat in my sleep or something. It's so bad. The weather nowadays.
Oh, I hate that too. Like, I get heat stroke really easily, so like Canada's the perfect temperature for me. But in the
What
summer, I basically get isolated in one room with my air conditioner.
do they go by Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius?
We go by Celsius. You
Then
know,
what
the
is the
the proper
Celsius?
one.
Nice, I agree. No one uses Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is terrible.
Literally just
What's the
one
usual?
country. For this time of year, it could go up to like in the 20s. At this
Mid
time of year,
20s, so 25, 24?
25, 24. Today's a bit cooler though because it's raining. But like there have been freak years where we even get like snow sometimes.
Right.
That's just
So,
for the summer, but in the winter it could get up to like minus 30 degrees.
ooh, I mean, it is
Maybe
very
even
far
minus
north.
40 and
Is
stuff.
there heat waves in Canada?
Well, we just had one actually, and it got to like plus 32 degrees or something.
Okay, to be
It's
fair,
really
right?
bad.
It is really bad, but 32 is a constant thing in my country.
I know. That's why I can't even live like in with my relatives in the Philippines because it's the same there, and I get heat
Yeah,
stroke really easily, so I'm
yeah,
gonna die.
yeah. So I would think that maybe if I ever get to visit Canada, I'll be pretty conditioned so fast. I remember when I visited Japan and then it was winter, I think it was -4. Honestly, as much as -4 is freezing and all, it felt rather heavenly to be in a cold weather for once because I've been
Well, if
living in
you're
heat.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
come to Canada, you might as well come during the winter so you could go skiing, skiing, what was it, snowboarding, skating,
It's so
go hiking
interesting.
up the
Yeah.
mountain.
But there's a lot of people who will want to go and try all of these things and all, but like they like even for a beginner, there's gonna be all these kind of classes to just teach someone who know nothing about skiing. Would that be so?
Yeah. Like most places where people normally ski will also offer like beginner courses, and basically if you have someone with you, they're usually like they want to get you to their hobby too, so they'll probably teach you as well. I personally don't know how, but I'm always willing to try and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder what's the feeling. 'Cause I've not been in a country where it's like full fledged snow, that sort of thing. The most I've seen is
Wait,
like
have you no?
oh, when I've been to
Oh,
Japan, right? When I've been to Japan, it was winter, but it wasn't snowing. It was Tokyo, Japan. So, it did snow a little. I also been to China, and over there, it was snowing once when I went there. I kind of regret going to China in winter because I realized I couldn't buy clothes back in my country because everything was winter design. And then I'm like, shit,
um,
I can't wear winter design in Singapore. I will get heat stroke. That is the perfect way to get heat stroke. So yeah, it was picky. But that one also had the snow, but it wasn't like it's not even above the feet. You get what I mean? So it
But
feels like
like,
nothing.
was it magical and stuff when you like? Were you there when it was still falling?
It was falling, yes. And all. Did it feel magical? No, it doesn't feel like the drama scene where you have a partner beside you and then you're like, wow, admiring the snow. I had my mom beside me. So
You
no, I
automatically think it's like a romantic notion. Then you're like, "Oh, hi, mom."
yeah, I mean it is there. I mean, we went to visit like a friend of my mom. So there was a dog. So that my mom's friend had, and then I see the dog run around. It was not really in the snow, just while the snow was falling. So it was a pretty sight to see that time. But I've not seen like pure white snow. So I'm a little curious. What is it like to be in that environment? Someday. I wish to travel overseas, but I need money. And now, right now, the current state of what I do, it's not like gonna earn me a lot. Whether it's to be a YouTuber or content creator, I probably need a proper job. Unless I make this even bigger than what it is, who knows? We'll
I
see what
think you
happens.
can do it. Do your best. Do your
Yes,
best.
of course. Um, that got me a bit curious because I think for people who's watching right now, right, they see that this is like a first that I bring a VTuber on board. Um, so this is like
Cringe.
my own curiosity also. I never got to ask you this. So when you first started out, right, what was it like?
Um, to be honest, there's like a very big culture in VTubing culture to make like a debut stream, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm,
where you hype people up as much as possible. You kind of tease them with your model, tease them with your content, make hyped up trailers and stuff, get like guests to say hi, introduce yourself. But for me, since I started off as a voice and it's my viewers who actually encouraged me to try out VTubing, I didn't I was kind of like, "Oh god, what if this doesn't happen? What if I make a huge debut stream and it kind of fizzles out?" So I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna start streaming with my VTuber model. I'm not gonna make a huge deal out of my debut." And like it worked out. Or at
mm-hmm,
least in my opinion, it worked out. Like I was really nervous about it, especially since like, you know, obviously like this is a age old topic, but a lot of female people who present as female online face a lot of stigma in the gaming community, right? Because it's all like, oh, anyone who pays attention to her is just because she's a girl, right? And I was really afraid
mm-hmm,
of that kind of thing, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I realized after starting off as a VTuber that having this disconnect between what I actually look like and how I want to present myself through a digital avatar really helped me come out of my shell and be less afraid of presenting myself, you know? Because with this, I can make myself look like anything I want it to be, especially since I make my own avatar. So it was really freeing this way, I think.
Actually, when you first started streaming, when you said that you just did a voice, there's no cam and anything, I mean, VTubing wasn't in your mind yet.
No, it's my viewers who encouraged me because I knew about VTubers kind of before, like with HoloLive and stuff, but I never really saw myself as one
Mm-hmm.
until I got encouraged by my viewers. So it's all their fault that I'm like this right now.
Yeah. Do you know what was the first game that you played?
On stream,
Stream, yeah.
Arknights.
So even as a voice, it was always Arknights already.
Yeah, cause I knew like at the time my computer wasn't that great, but I did play gotcha games on it a lot.
Uh-huh.
Before I started off streaming Arknights, I was like, I'm a veteran on Fate Grand Order, so I was like, you know what, should I stream Fate Grand Order? But I figured, like, it would be more fun for people, especially if I'm starting off my streaming journey, for my viewers to start off on a journey with me on something new. And at that time, Arknights is still very new, right?
Mhm.
Like, it
Yeah.
just started January, February of that year, and I only joined in on February, not even in first day. So I was like, I'm still fairly new in Arknights. How about I stream Arknights? So then even as just a voice, it was all Arknights all the time.
I'm actually surprised that I actually thought when you first started, you probably played a different game and then you started porting over to Arknights. Because for me, that was what
Okay,
happened.
all Arknights.
When I first started, right, you make a bit of a guess. What was the first game that I played?
I
It was
think
not
I heard you
Arknights.
mention this. It was like, wasn't it some RTS game or something?
Oh, it was actually. Now that you reminded me, I actually didn't remember it to be there, but it was. It was a real-time strategy game. It was called Red Alert. But after
Yeah,
that,
I
right?
remember you mentioned it. The one where they're like space.
Yeah, and then after that one, right, I started playing Subnautica, and then I played Five Nights at Freddy's, and those were the times where I tend to not get an audience. It was just me trying to understand what the heck is Twitch and all. I felt like a boomer doing Twitch. It was so scary. Everything. Actually, even now, I feel freaking old when it comes to technology. Like I tend
Yeah,
to
that's
do
why we call
whatever
you
make things work.
Uncle.
Yeah. Oh no,
Uncle
the
Cookie.
backstory of why I get called uncle isn't exactly just because I present a bit of that. Oh, I've got like this old nature. You know why I was called uncle?
Oh,
Have I
why?
ever mentioned?
Like
Oh,
I have my own reason for calling you Uncle, but I'm curious what it
oh,
was
you
for
can
you.
share with me. But apparently the what started out with people calling me uncle, right, was this was even before I started YouTube. So on Twitch in the past, I did a lot of reaction videos where if people send me something funny, I'll just watch them on the spot. So Uncle Roger was a big thing back then, especially with his fried rice video. So I watched that, and then afterwards I actually catched up with some of his videos. So after a while, people found out that I could imitate him because I'm an Asian myself and I get the idea of the voice and how to say it. So people were like, "Oh my goodness, you are Uncle Cookie this time." And I
Oh my
said,
god, do it right now, do it right now.
no, I need to feel like I need to reprimand someone. I don't feel
Well, I
that vibe."
mean, just pretend that I didn't do well in this interview and you're not giving me my bag of rice in the basement.
Yeah, why you never do so good for today's interview? Now I don't need to feed you anymore because you do like shit. Never mind. Next time you'll do better. Okay, I believe in you. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like that kind of the vibe that people get.
The disappointed uncle voice.
Yeah, and then even when I do so after that like reactionary video that happened, right? Account review is a very big thing. In the past, I still do it time to time now. Though my own real life time is conflicting with this. But yeah, I reviewed so many accounts in the past, and um there was that sort of thing where I had that imitation, of making that voice. One of my most viewed videos on my YouTube channel is like an account review. And then there's that voice that goes on. So I think that reinforced like the uncle vibe to it. And then people started calling me uncle ever since then. But after a while, I think even when it first started, right, I probably had someone asking me, "You're comfortable with people calling you uncle?" Because I'm very young. I'm 22, right? And then why are people calling me uncle? And I just
Like
told
you're
them,
younger than me and I still call you uncle.
yeah, but I told people it's fine. I see it as it's a very dearly term. I don't see it as it's a very derogatory thing. It's not. It doesn't make me feel bad. I genuinely feel like I'm an old man in a young person's body. So, like I lived with it. So yeah, that's why I was called uncle. Why do you want to call me uncle?
It's honestly just the vibes. I don't really see you as an old soul or anything. It's just the vibes. Like you remind me of like one of my actual uncles, like your personality and stuff. And you have like the same vibes as him.
Yeah, a lot of things that I do have that sort of feel. Nowadays, actually, I have some viewers, right, that I notice that like to message me out of the blue, and then they start to ask me for life advice, and I'm like, yeah, I'll give it to you. I mean, if you want a certain form of help, I would. And I'm like, oh my god, this is a very adult thing to do. Why do I suddenly message random people and give them stuff? I don't mind it. So I appreciate that there was this persona. It's like how you said your viewers convince you to VTube, right? Same thing. I think my viewers also made up this title for me and it went on. And I think that was the very image that stayed as to why some people might view me. If some people might not even know the origin, and then even in the comments section, they just follow the trend and they even call me Uncle Cookie. So I found it so unique. So yeah. So now this is the curious part. You stated that you play Arknights as the first game that you stream. So Why was it Arknights? Like, what, like, I get that you played Fake Grand and then you choose this, but what were you so certain about to play Arknights as the one to stream? Since you could have streamed Fake Grand.
Mostly FOMO, because my friends in real life are playing Arknights as well, and they're like, "Hey, Lottie, look, this game has hot guys in it. You should
Wait, really?
play it."
That's how they promote to you?
Kind of. I was like really confused because I have mostly male friends in real life as well because
Uh-huh.
it just happens like that because like we met up in school and stuff and it was part of a club. But besides the point, they're like, "Hey Lottie, you should play this game with us," and I'm like, "But aren't we all playing FGO?" And they're like, "You can play both. It's fine." And then I was like, might not be enough to make me play. And then I saw Chen and I was like, "Holy shit, she's
Or
so
Chen's
hot."
hot. Right,
I
right.
was like, "Well, time to play."
So that was what got you to play. And then because you played it, you just said no. So the curiosity is you could have played other games when you first streamed. So what made it AK first?
Well, like I said, I figure it might be good for my viewers to kind of go on a noob journey with me and see how I grow gradually in a game. And
Because you
Arknights is
just
still
started, is
fairly
it?
new.
When
Pretty
you
much. It's not that I just started. It's just that like the game was fairly new and it was like just a couple months out, and I was still figuring out the game myself. So I figured a bunch of people were on the same boat as me, right? Because the game
uh-huh.
was new. So I figured it'd be a good way for us to kind of grow together with my audience in the game, as opposed to Fake Grand Order, where I'm already like
Uh,
OP with a bunch of SSRs and shit, right?
uh, so
Mhm.
it's really the thought of like, oh, this is going to be an interesting thing for people to watch, since everyone is also starting out in a sense. That wasn't really what
Also,
I
I'm
thought.
still riding the hype train as well. I just wanted someone to talk about it with.
Ah, okay, okay. No, I mean, I get that. Back then when I started streaming, because I didn't stream Arknights first, right before Arknights, right, the last game that I streamed was Five Nights at Freddy's. I completed all four for on like multiple streams.
I
And I
still haven't
remember,
played them.
oh, it's scary though. Um,
I'm really I'm scared of a pussy ass bitch.
but like those games, yeah, back then my audience was very children centric because of those four games, but it wasn't like crazy number of audience. I think I only clocked in less than 50 subscribers. No, sorry, not subscribers on Twitch. We call it followers on Twitch. So yeah, the part that made me suddenly say why not play Arknights, right, was that I already picked up the game of Arknights. Because I was seeing my friends play it as well. This one wasn't FOMO, like my friends convinced me. I use Facebook. This reinforces me being a boomer. But like, I saw a lot of Facebook posts of like people playing Arknights. I was like, this is like a decent game. So I picked it up and I realized it was tower defense and everything. And it appeals to me because I play a lot of tower defense. Like I enjoyed the Plant vs Zombie series. I enjoyed Bloons Tower Defense, and I'm like, oh, this is a new one to fill up that sort of want to play such a game. I don't necessarily like always play them. It's not like I'm a hardcore Bloons Tower player. I would usually play it like for a week and then I drop. But AK was different, you know. For whatever reason, I'm playing it every day. So I started since February, and then when I started to stream it in July,
Oh, we
at that
played
point,
it around the same time then.
yeah. So when I started streaming in July, I was like, I like this game a lot, but I was scared to stream it. You know, I was scared to stream it
Why?
because back then, for Arknights, there were a lot of big streamers actually. Like Zeals, Beyond, Tectone, Kyo. I think they were all streaming on Twitch. So they were all huge faces, you know, and we're talking like thousands of viewers back then. So when I thought of starting on AK, I wasn't a good player back then. It's not like people think of me nowadays as, oh, you're the pro, you can make some guides, this and that. But it wasn't one trick pony in a sense. It was actually a long time coming of me building up myself in the game. So I was very scared that the viewers from all these other channels will actually come and find me. And then after they might be like, oh my god, look at this guy, he's playing very bad. That sort of thing. But I called up a friend and I asked him, should I play stream Arknights? And he said, yeah, just go for it. So there was like a little bit of the push, you know, that convinced me to actually try it. And then a few people started to notice me then, and I just played on. And then I noticed my audience gradually grow. It's kind of like an exponential curve kind of thing. where within the 2 years I see it grow even more. But at the start it was pretty slow lah. So I realized it was actually quite okay because after a while, in the first 2-3 months of me streaming Arknights, that was when the Genshin Impact thing happened, and then everyone started to shift, and then no one streams Arknights anymore. Like it looks like as if no one streams Arknights, right? There's only so few of us around that streaming at whatever pace that we were. I think I didn't actually notice you back then because we stream at different hours. Like the time that you stream is after I end stream. So and I
Cookie
wasn't
Senpai noticed me.
yeah, I think the point where I started to recognize you was like when you said that I raided you and all. Probably because I just ended my stream and then afterwards you just started and then that was how it happens. Since we have time zone differences, so but there were a few significant people that were already before me, so it was Tsugu and Sessive. Like their following was actually very big last time, but it's nothing big like say Tecton. Tecton was clocking in thousands of viewers, and then for the two of them, they were only at like 50 viewers, and I was at none lah, basically. Took a while, and then all of a sudden, I think the way that streaming has turned into from then till now is so different. Like in the past, we're all building it up, and now we're developing our own loyal base of people that we enjoy watching us. So there's that. It does bring up the sort of question of like, how do you feel streaming for a while now?
Actually, very recently, I kind of had to put like a rule on myself to
Mm-hmm.
have more days off streaming because the way
Of the
that
regularity?
yeah, because I used to try to stream every single day because I usually work in the afternoons,
Mm-hmm.
and me streaming at this time of day is actually in the morning.
Yeah.
So I stream, I eat, and then I get ready for work, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but I realized that doing this though is starting to kind of burn me out, maybe leave less room for other stuff in my private life. So as a result, I've actually had to dial back. I stream maybe around 4 times a week now instead, just to keep that proper work life balance.
Was it always very regular, like daily back then? Or like what
Yeah,
was it the
it actually
change?
was. It's pretty
Oh.
much daily. Cause like I
Oh.
usually for like an hour and a half anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a little easier for me than other people who would stream for like 4 hours on average, right?
Mm.
And I usually end stream when I get hungry for lunch. So that's my cue to stop.
Mm-mm-mm. Despite like having work in the afternoon and all, do you still have the time to yourself at night?
uh, I kind of do, but at that point I'm usually so tired to do anything. So that's why I dialed it back now, just so that like I can actually have like time for myself, like a proper social life with people in real life, not just online. Yeah,
It
things like
gave
that.
me curiosity. It wasn't a question that I have written down. It's like for us as people who stream for like really long, right? How do you feel about it conflicting with your real life? Like in a sense, like do you feel very happy with what you're doing, or do you feel at some point maybe there's too much of this?
Um started uh, to get some context, I started this in the first place because I have really bad social anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and it just got really worse during, the last 2 years with everything that was happening, right?
Is it because of
And
the
every
lockdown? You know?
Yeah, the pandemic and everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So everybody was scared to go outside and all that. And I used streaming initially to start to help me get more of that human interaction, even though I look like this.
Right, right.
Human
Mm-hmm.
interaction. So, this streaming has actually helped me be more open to people in general. Like, even online, I used to just talk with my friends
Mm-hmm.
from school and kind of keep to myself. But now I'm actively joining communities, I'm actively talking to people like you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually helped me in real life too, because I used to be even too scared to talk to cashiers at
Mm-hmm.
stores when I buy something. But now I can strike up a conversation fairly easily. I'm still a little rusty, but it's helped me in that way.
You remind me of like back then the way that my life has been is like it's full of ups and downs. So if people ask me, sometimes I wish to get real interesting questions from my viewers. I actually appreciate viewers that ask me very surprising things that I didn't think about. So one of the questions that I like to answer is like, what was the worst year ever in my life? And I'll tell people it was 2019, because that was the year where I was in what we consider as conscription. Conscription in my country is a thing where you have to serve the military for 2 years. Either that, or you'll serve the police force, or you'll serve the civil defense force. Civil defense are firefighters. So I was in the civil defense force, and during that point in time, my training phase was very long. It was like 9 months, 9 to 10 months long. It was what was dreadful about it is that when you are in those training, you don't go home. You gotta stay back in your base and do all your training work. So you sleep in the bunk and everything. 7 months in particular of the training, I was stuck with people that after a short little while, I start to notice I don't think they like me, and I don't like them back. So it was very uncomfortable. Before 2019, I saw myself as a very sociable person. I was actually very okay to talk to people and everything. I can strike up convos, I can laugh, and I can be happy with everyone. I get very excitable. Nowadays, I feel like I'm not as excitable as when I was younger. But during that
Uncle
training
Cookie
phase,
showing itself again.
yeah. Nowadays, sorry, back to that 2019. Yeah, so I met people that I really didn't like, and I was losing it because I was very silent with them. I wasn't being myself. Wasn't as sociable as I was, and I quieted down a lot, to the point that because I wasn't making good friends in the training phase that I was in, I pretty much probably developed anxiety. Like I was at that point, right? I was so scared. I started to go to my phone. I started searching what is anxiety, am I feeling it and all. Because it was a very painful time. It felt the most alone ever in my life. Like I know I have friends and all, but I just didn't want to consult them. And I also felt bad. They didn't like find me or anything. There's always those, when it comes to anxiety, right? There's that feeling of you don't want to bother your friends. And sometimes you wish that they speak to you. But if they don't speak to you, you start to think, oh, is it because they don't want to talk to you and everything? So I be honest with some of my friends. And I ask them, why is it that you all don't hook up with me to go up for a meeting and all? And they said, you're very busy, in your life and everything. We always thought that you'd be busy. If not, you wouldn't mind going out. And actually, funnily speaking, even till now, I find that my life is very busy, which is why my friends probably find it difficult to get me out. But yeah, it was quite dreadful of a time back then. And once I got out of that phase in 2020, I met better people in my life. And then afterwards, I started streaming. And just like how you say that streaming changed you, right? I feel oddly emotional. Streaming changed me a lot. Because
I'm the same way.
like streaming was the thing that helped to find me back as a person. Like I started to pick up the old me, and then like Cookie, don't go anywhere. Yeah, but
I too, because it's the same way, and I'm glad you started streaming. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met you.
yeah, streaming picked me back up from the depths basically, and I started to, because I think 2019 was a whole bash in confidence. I was contemplating whether there was any point for me to be around, and all. And then by doing this, and picking up some good people surrounding me, then I start to realize it's actually not bad at all. And yeah, I I fully adore the fact that streaming made me a better person. It's not like I went back to my old self. It just made me more open, more outgoing, and more confident. And also in a way, the fact that I'm someone who's able to become a streamer, and I've been through all these sort of tough times. A lot of times I like to tell my viewers that if they feel like shit in their life, they need to understand that shit doesn't last for long. To be fair, it can last for long, on a certain condition, which is they don't do anything about it. I feel that people need to find what makes them to gain the happiness that they want. And for me, for whatsoever reason, streaming became my happiness. And that's why I still continue to stream till today. So yeah, I'm fully glad that I keep up with streaming. It's not a tiring thing for me. If there was something that was tiring for me that I'll name, it would be YouTubing.
Because you have to
YouTubing
keep up that grind, right?
YouTubing is very difficult. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of confidence to make videos, and many planning as well. When you stream, there's less pressure because you're just talking to a live audience. You can be on the spot creating topics to speak about, and then just playing your game and knowing how to entertain people. But when you do videos, at least for me, I tend to fumble a lot. People don't know about this, that I take a long time thinking about what I want to say and all. And if I mess up, right, I need to U-turn, I need to redo that line. And usually that happens about like 40, 50 times. I had one video, I think it was a Telopsis operator review. People don't know about this, but the first 1 minute of the video, I retook that part 50 times. And I felt like shit. It was 1 minute. My video is 15 minutes long. And you can imagine if I rehearse 1 minute for 50 times, it means I took 1 hour to make a minute. It sounds like a mess, but the problem is I lack confidence in YouTube video making, which is why I hate it a lot. I would be so glad if I was only a streamer, but sadly it doesn't really make sense. To me, YouTube also helped me out as a person when it comes to, not as a person, but in terms of my reach of
Your
who
growth,
knows me.
right?
Yeah, because it's without it, people wouldn't have found me on Twitch, right? And
Yeah, like I remember was it your CC guide that made you like pop off overnight, or was
it
it like
was one
the
of it.
IS? One
There
of
was a
those.
few. CC video where the one that I won for CC's 3 Cinder. That was one of it that popped off. I think there was a few videos that I made that helped my channel to grow a lot. Like I made a video on why you should play Arknights. I made a few like news videos, and certain commentary videos as well. It took quite a while, but I think it was really the commentary videos that helped people to find me. Guides didn't really help people to find me because guides always existed on YouTube. There's Echo, there's Kill, and all. That one took a long time, but yeah, with those people watching me and knowing who I am, then people started to come over to Twitch. Like there are so many people who don't even use Twitch, and then for the first time they try it and they're like, "Oh, I like this place." And I think there's also a positive spillover effect that I give to the Twitch streamers of Arknights because, with more people watching me, I also start to notice now that I bring and pull people into Twitch, then all these people are discovering other people on Twitch as well, which was a thing that I'm happy to see do. So yeah, I'm glad with how streaming has like helped me and even yourself. I believe streaming has also helped a lot of other people to open up. Through this entire time of streaming, right? What's your favorite
My favorite what?
moment of streaming? Do you know? Like
Moment.
it may not be one, it could be a few. Like what was a great memory of yours?
Huh. Oh, I don't know if you remember this. Like, you were in that Among Us collab, like that
I
really big one a
was.
while ago. Oh my god, like that was so fun.
Oh,
The
I
Among Us
love
collabs
that.
we used to do, and then sometimes I'd be like kind of drunk off the atmosphere, and I wouldn't bother to mute my mic, and then I'd start singing like weird children's lullabies, and for some reason people think that I sound really creepy. That's like so fun. I know it's not even like Arknights related because it was a collab, but like I don't know, just having fun with my friends, even if it's separate from like my own personal content, is and like having other people enjoy me having fun with my friends. That's the greatest feeling ever, even if like it didn't actually like do a lot for my channel individually. It's always a fun feeling to collab with others.
Interestingly, that happened in the first ever half year of us streaming. that we actually did the collab, and then it's a bit sad to say, but nowadays I haven't been collaborating with people all that much, even though I want to. But yeah, that was definitely a time that I really, really liked. I hung out with so many people back then, and I think those were one of the things that helped me to feel very involved in the community and finding my place and all. To meet people like yourself, Zubu, Yusil, and even the viewers that we have. Yeah, it felt amazing. I broke my pen. I featured with my pen a lot and I broke it.
Okay, for some reason that reminds me of the other day when I went to a Japanese restaurant and I accidentally bit one of the plastic chopsticks in half.
Wait, wait, plastic chopsticks?
You know, one of those really thick ones?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
You
bit it in
managed
half
to.
by accident. I snapped it.
Oh my god! Okay.
With my
That's with your mouth while eating
yeah,
your
cause
food.
like, okay, I was eating steak off a hot plate and it was like really good steak, but
Uh
like
huh.
and when you're eating meat, you wanna take hard bites, right? So that you could
Mm-hmm.
cut into it really well. And like I guess I didn't pull out the chopstick fast enough before I really chomped down, and then I heard a huge crack in my mouth, and I was like, "Eh?" And then
Mm-hmm.
like I put the half chopstick down, and then I pulled out the other half of the chopstick from
For your
inside my
mouth.
mouth, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was
My
so
god.
funny trying to explain it to the waitress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you able to hear my dog, by the way?
You have a dog?
Oh,
How
I
long have
do.
you had
Oh,
a
you've never known that
hi,
I have a dog?
auntie! Well, it's 'cause
Oh.
you never
Oh,
show.
my friend says hi
Hi,
to
auntie!
you. Yeah.
Hi!
Oh, I never knew, but yeah, I've long had a dog. Yes, my mom just
I'm
came back.
actually scared of animals
Oh, you are? What animals are
'cause,
you afraid of?
okay, let me explain
Or in
my fear of
general?
animals first. Like, in general, 'cause it's like, oh, I wanna be friends with animals. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate them, I like them. It's just that I don't wanna make them uncomfortable, and people are always like, "Here, hold my cat," and I'm like, "How do I
Mhm.
hold your cat?" They're like, "Here, hold it like a human baby," and I'm like, "But what if it hates me?" 'Cause, like, the cat can't understand human language, and you can't understand cat language, so the only way for it to express its discomfort is to bite you or hiss and stuff, and I'm not
Uh-huh.
really good at reading those, like, body language from non-humans, so, like, I it's not that I actively fear for my life, it's just I fear making them uncomfortable and making them hate me accidentally.
Oh. But was it only cats in particular?
Well, dogs, I have, like, an actual fear of dogs because one tried to eat me as a kid, but that's something else.
Oh, okay. But never have you tried to interact with animals since all of these instances?
Oh, I try. Like when I'm at my friend's house and they have pets, I'm like shaking and crying, but my hand is still trying to pet them because I've tried to overcome my fear. And they're like, "Why
Hmm.
are you crying?" And I'm like, "Your cat is so cute. I want to pet it so bad." And then you see tears streaming down my face as my hand is still shaking.
Mm-hmm. This For myself, I don't have a fear of animals, but I feel like animals don't like me.
To be
Like,
fair though, you have a pet, so
I have, but I'm not close to my pet.
aw, that's a
Yeah.
shame. You
Uh,
should get close to your pet for me, for my sake,
yeah,
okay?
but as in the thing is that it's an overtime thing because I've had her for years. She doesn't like. It has been like that for a long time where she doesn't look for me for attention in any way, and even if I try to go to her, her instinct is to run away from me.
Oh,
So I'm
so
just like,
soon, did.
there's no affinity with me and dogs. And I will say me and dogs in particular because my family has a lot of dogs. Like my other cousins and all, my aunts and uncles, they all decided to have a dog. So whenever I visit the house and everything, right, their dog will never care about me. They care about like my mom, my brother, but not me. So after a while, I'm just like, I guess, you know what, dogs are in for me. If I ever get someone to become a partner and they say they want a dog, I'll be like, no, don't get one. Because I'm not going to take care of it. It wouldn't want me to take care of it. So, yeah. Cats, however, cats is a different story. In my country, there are this thing called neighborhood cats because sometimes we have stray cats that actually walks around our neighborhoods, meaning no one owns them. But it's not like illegal per se. So there are some stray cats that will just walk up to me. Yeah, oh, okay, cool. I guess maybe I'm a cat person, even though I wanted to be a dog person. So yeah. Although my favorite animal is still remains to be a owl. I've not interacted with an owl, but I really
Is that why you like Telopsis and you bothered to make
no no no
a operator
no
review on
no.
it?
I don't. I see some people say, oh, it's my favorite operator Tilopsis because I like snow owls. No, I just like snow owls because I find them really really pretty. Actually,
Wait,
a lot of
did you watch Harry Potter?
no. I know that there
Oh,
was
I'm
a snow owl
surprised.
inside. I know that there is one, but I
Wait,
like
you haven't seen a single Harry Potter movie?
it wasn't my
Oh my
childhood. Yes.
oh my
No,
god.
don't curse at me. Don't curse at me. My childhood
Oh
is very
my
different from
oh
other
my
people, you
god.
know. It's when if people want to like do a checkbox, right? And some people will say, "Oh, do you watch Pokemon?" I didn't. What other childhood
Well,
things?
uh, Digimon?
I didn't.
Fuck.
Or like
Um,
movies, Star Wars. I don't.
oh,
Marvel. I don't. Anymore?
what the hell? Not even what? Huh?
Yeah, my childhood confuses people a lot, which
Are
is
you just
also
Arknights, all day Arknights every day?
no, bro. Arknights existed only in 2019, so that's not
Well,
even my
that's what I'm
childhood
wondering.
anymore.
What hobbies did you have before Arknight?
Right? So I think that was also one of the reasons why I had a lot of conflict when I tried to make friends when I was younger, because I don't have common interests with a lot of people. When I was younger, um, my family isn't really on the more pompous side, you know. We're not poor, but neither are we very rich. We're just living enough. So back then, I had my first smartphone when I was in 13 or 14. Most of the time when I watch television, I watch local television. Um, and I did have, I don't have my own personal laptop. At least my memory says so. I think it was like a family's laptop. So those were my main interactions with entertainment. And also as a young kid, um, I think there's a culture in my country where they send children for tuition. So it's like extra classes so that they can become like smarter and all and get better grades. I was a very good student back in my first line of education, which we call it primary school here. I don't know what they call it in. I think they call it elementary school
Uh,
in Canada or US.
we have preschool that you do like around ages 4 to 5
After
ish, I
preschool.
think.
After preschool.
Oh, then it's just elementary school,
Yeah,
yeah.
elementary school. So I did well, but I had tuition. So a lot of my time was spent on like studying. And then if I'm not studying, then I'm playing like a game on my laptop or watching TV. So if I watch TV, right, I watch local television. I don't have the option to choose what I want to watch. You get what I mean? So I watch like whatever children programs that was on my TV. Interestingly, as far as my memory can go, um, High Five was the thing last time. I don't know if you know about that. Um,
That.
High Five. It was like a show where there was like five particular people as like the main show hosts, and then they tend to sing a lot. I watched some cartoons. I
Like,
I don't
I
remember
didn't have
all of
like a
them.
personal computer or like a cell phone for very long either. I actually grew up in a not too wealthy neighborhood, but
Mhm.
even Pokemon was on like cable television that everybody had.
Oh, Pokemon. I think there was a reason why as a kid I didn't even like watch Pokemon that much because at least my memory says either it wasn't airing or it was airing, but because I, as a kid, noticed I wasn't watching from the start, I didn't want to watch it. You get my point?
Oh,
Like I
okay.
noticed it wasn't the
Because
first episode
you
already.
actually wanted to like
I
follow along with the
understand like
story.
what I'm watching. Yeah, so I think it's weird. From young, I wanted to like, oh, if I start a Netflix series, why would I start from episode 5? I should start from episode 1. So yeah, yeah, and I noticed that a lot of programs that I watched wasn't in the beginning. So what was some of my favorite children's shows when younger? I watched Phineas and Ferb. I watched Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry was one of my favorites when younger.
Cute.
What was else? I
Like Looney Tunes?
I saw some, but they're not very memorable. Ben 10 was a thing back then. I did follow on certain channels. So Cartoon Network was a thing. I don't know if you know about Cartoon Network. Whatever
Oh,
that Cartoon Network aired,
I
I
knew
kind of watched
about it,
those.
but we didn't have it, so.
Yeah. So I didn't follow with the. Basically, my childhood was not surrounded by the most popular um shows a lot. And in terms of movies, I grew up not liking action movies already. From young, I was just like, action is just, oh, it's a bunch of people fighting. Why would I be entertained by it? I mean, even now, I watch some action movies, I'm like, oh, wow, look at the graphics and VFXs, but it doesn't really appeal to me all that much. So I just never started on it. I mean, I did watch Spider-Man, but I can tell you, I remember nothing about the storyline of Spider-Man. I probably watched like Harry Potter 1 and 2 or something, and I don't remember the storyline. It goes to show
You
how
should
I
try
wasn't very impactful.
now. You should try watching it
I
now. They're
could, I
pretty
could.
good movies.
Maybe I could do like a watch along or something, and then that would incentivize me to spend the time with people.
Why not? That's
Oh,
the thing that people do.
but I was influenced by anime by the age of 10 or 11, I think. So at the age of 10 or 11, one of the first few anime that I picked up, and I would still recommend people today to watch it. I think it remains one of my favorite. It's Letter B. I don't think anyone knows what Letter B is.
Tagachi?
Yes, Tegami
Oh
Bachi.
my god! I like Tagami Bachi too! Oh
I
my
love
god!
I love the little kids. They were so sweet back then. I would want to rewatch the anime. I have not.
I actually
No,
I
I've
actually read the manga for it. Like not the
mm,
whole thing, but I did.
yeah, I watched the anime, but I have not watched Tegami Bachi first. But I can tell you that that was one of the first anime I watched, and I actually felt pretty emotional as a kid. I think maybe that was the first anime that made me understand what feelings are. So, very, very, very good anime.
I
And
thought that
then,
was your first anime. Mine was not as wholesome.
what was it?
Okay, let me preface this that I watch a lot of classic stuff because I have an older brother who has like a bigger age gap, like
Uh huh.
6 years older than me.
Hmm.
So I got to watch a lot of like early '90s stuff as well as like current stuff that is shouldn't really be accessible to someone who's like a barely not a toddler. But my first non-cable TV anime, that is to say, like non-Pokemon, non-Digimon, non stuff that you could see on TV, was a little not well known anime. You probably never heard of this. It's a little underground. It's called Neon Genesis Evangelion,
Oh, I didn't watch it though.
the
I mean, it's very
original one.
popular. I don't know anything about it to actually like. No, I get that it's memed on, but I don't know why.
Well, only because anything really popular is memed on, right?
Yeah, but I didn't understand Neon Genesis as a thing that was popular. Uh, back then. Wait, am I pronouncing it right? It's called Neon Genesis Evangelion. Am I correct? That's the name of it.
Uh, I think the most common pronunciation is Evangelion, but Evangelion is also makes sense. Just call it
Oh,
Eva.
yeah. So yeah. But when you say it's not wholesome, like I don't know much about his storyline actually.
Well, you know the reputation of mecha anime being technically very angsty and about
Uh
like
huh.
teen angst and
Uh huh.
horrible war crimes and stuff. Yeah,
That's pretty much what. Okay.
horrible
Um,
war crimes, teenage angst, parent abandonment, not safe for work topics related to young men and the way
but
that they grow up, if
It
you know what
wasn't
I
a
mean.
considered. Yeah, I get it, but it wasn't rated R18 or anything. Right? It was still actually safe for
Um,
no.
um,
Oh,
um.
oh, 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 oh! I see.
It wasn't outwardly not safe for work, but if you watched it as a kid and then you watch it now and then you're like, "Holy shit, I watched this as a kid?
Oh
I
my
shouldn't
god!
have watched this as a kid. It fucked me
It's like
up."
people who listen to the song Barbie Girl when they were young, and then when they're older and they replay it and they're like, wait, what are the lyrics?
Yeah, 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 it's like that, it's like that.
Okay, I get it now.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
goodness. My second anime was Fairy Tale, and I wanna
I
rewatch
can
Fairy
never
Tale.
I
Mm,
can never get into Fairy Tail and One Piece. I just didn't vibe with the art style.
mm. Ooh, but for me, because it was on TV, so I just watched it back then. I really really liked it. because it was my childhood, I would love to rewatch it. But the problem is that I never followed it in terms of its episodes, and it's so many. Like I feel a lot for all those One Piece fans. I met my two of my friends yesterday, and the huge loyal One Piece fans. They were talking about the manga latest chapter in front of me, and I'm just there like, man, these guys are reading 1,000 like chapters worth of manga. They're still following, and they're also following the episodes. I can't keep up. If I want to join in now, I'd be spending like, I don't know, 500 multiplied by 30 minutes. How long would that take? So yeah, but there was an anime that I sped through. I didn't speed through it when I was young. I speed through it in 2019 when I was coping with my own anxiety, which is Hunter x Hunter. I
Oh,
ran through the program, and I love Hunter x Hunter. I'm so happy that they are releasing a new chapter for the manga soon. But yeah, those three animes that I mentioned were one of the biggest impacts in my life, I feel, because they shaped me to feel comfortable about, I guess, emotional stuff back then. Especially Tegami Bachi. Uh, yeah, even Hunter x Hunter had the feeling of friends. I didn't like Fairy Tail for one thing, which is now when I look back, they will constantly repeat this word, which is nakama. Nakama meaning friends. And they will always be like, yeah, the spirit of friends and everything. Now that I look back, I'm like, you're overdoing it a bit too much. But like, you know what? I was a kid, so I didn't even understand what was I listening to. So yeah, but still, I mean, because it was teaching about friendship and everything, I think it was helpful for me as a younger person. So yeah, holy crap! I actually forgot how we got into this topic of sharing our own childhood matters, but
well,
it makes me.
to be fair, anime and Arknights go hand in hand, especially
They
since Arknights
do,
is getting an anime, right? Huh?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah, and I actually would believe that they're either releasing it gonna be either the end of this year or maybe the start of next year. I mean, they got all their film teasers up already. The art looks decent.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's not
It's
top
being done
tier.
by their internal studio, right?
Yeah, it is. It's not like the hugest of animes that you've seen, but it's decent enough to possibly get people interested in Arknights. So I'm very excited for it. Even though I
Mhm.
was influenced by anime when I was young, as I grew up, I'm not as influenced by it anymore. I kind of stopped watching it when I'm like 14 or 15. A lot of people have this assumption that if people play Arknights, right, they're probably into like very anime characters or something. That's not really why I play Arknights. I'm not like crazy about anime characters. I just played it because I like the game.
Not even VTubers?
No, I actually don't follow
Oh,
VTubers that much actually. Um,
okay.
my own
This is
personal.
fine. It's okay.
Don't worry, I follow
It's
you.
okay.
Yes. Oh no, don't fall. No. As in, I I did notice the wave of VTubers in the past. One of the um pioneers of VTubing that people will mention is Kizuna Ai. Um,
Yeah, she's like one of the first like commercial break hits for it, but not the first, but
the
like the first one that
first.
got popular.
Yes. So it was very helpful to I not helpful, but as in her being around set the scene for the VTubing world, I would say. And then I was keeping up with there's suddenly all these like HoloLive stuff and everything. But the reason why I can't catch up with VTubers is because I don't really have much time to like watch their stuff, and they stream very, very often as well. Like some of them even stream daily. Actually, if I think about it, all HoloLive streamers and G streamers stream daily, and with like 1 or 2 days of break in between. So it's very hard to keep up. The most that I keep up with like VTubers is through their clips. So if there's like a popular clip of like say Rusha or Ura or
And
anybody else.
I think you mentioned that you also like Mr. Rias, right?
Oh yeah, Mister was very popular when he appeared. There's another new one that appeared that caught my attention, which is Shoto. Um,
Oh, Shoto's great. I like Shoto too.
yeah, Shoto is a pretty funny guy. And can't recall everybody, but yeah, I just watch their clips basically. I can't really hang out with their channels all that much. Yeah, but if I had all the time in the world, would I get into VTubers? Maybe I would.
Oh my god,
Uh,
Cookie VTuber debut when? Eh? Eh?
um, uh
2023, let's go. Let's go.
we'll see as to whether something like that would happen. But yeah, um,
Also, that's not a no.
uh, I mean, it's okay. So I don't know if I mentioned this in another AK Hangout episode, but uh, if people were to ask me, is Arknights my favorite game? I'll say no, it's not my favorite game. My favorite game thus far that really made a huge impact to me is VR chat. Like VR chat is straight up my favorite game of all time because um as much as I was saying that I was coping with anxiety back then in 2019. When 2020 hit, right, I bought a computer and everything, and one of the first games that I wanted to try was VRC because I was like, I kind of want to speak to people. I feel like I've been lacking it for all this time. So playing VR chat was a idea I had, especially during the lockdown period, since everyone is in lockdown. I'm kind of like internally curious how are people feeling together with me in the lockdown, and to just meet people from other countries basically. So I tried the game and I got myself a headset, and I was like, whoa, it feels so different to be actually immersed in the world. Like when I play VR chat in the past, I actually get absorbed in it for hours. I spend my night in it, with my friends and all. And I think that was also one of the games that helped me to find myself back, and it was very helpful back then. So no, it's not Arknights. I think VR chat can be a wonderful place if you, number one, meet good people and you're a nice person yourself. Have you played it before?
In VR chat, no, I don't own a headset, so I
Oh,
know
like
you could technically do it without owning a headset, but I feel like if you want the best experience, you gotta go in with a headset, right?
yeah. When I played VR chat, there was a friend of mine who's Singaporean that I found in the game, and she was the one that convinced me to get a headset because I was like, she was so always promoting it to me. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get like the cheapest headset that's potential in the market, which was the Oculus Quest back then, not the current one, which is Oculus Quest 3. So yeah, but that did change it up, although it was also pretty fun to just play on PC. So that's that. A lot of time people might think that VTubers would immediately play VR chat. That's not the case. From whatsoever I see. And when answering back to the will I ever have a model then? I mean, when I played VR chat, I kind of wanted something to represent me.
Well, I
So,
mean, my model I'm using here,
mhm,
this 3D model,
mhm,
it's actually VR chat compatible if you put it through
I
like
would
a
imagine so.
converter. Yeah.
Because it is played on Blender, is it?
Sorry?
Is this played on Blender?
Oh, no, it was made on VTube Studio, which
Uh-huh. Oh,
outputs
immediately compatible.
I don't think it's immediately compatible.
Uh-huh.
Like I know that there are tutorials on YouTube for converting it, but it is possible with this style.
Mm, right. But yeah, I did consider having like my own model, that kind of thing, back when I played VR chat, because there wasn't really like something that feels like me back then. I mean, I found some that I could grow into, but it wasn't quite yet me. Especially when I think about whether is it the way that I look or the voice. Actually, the voice is the most important, I feel. The voice needs to make you feel like, oh, right, this is like a suitable thing to go with back then. So, the most popular VR chat uh characters, they tend to be like very hot looking and everything, all the guys and everything. And I'm just there like, I'm not very, very good looking. So to fit in those stuff, it didn't feel quite right. But at the same time, it's not that I don't want to be. I would wish for something that just still feels me. So I do have an idea of, if I had a model, what would I want? I did explicitly say it before that one of the things that I wish to do on my social media channels, whether YouTube or Twitch, is I wish to have a mascot. So um I would love to have a mascot of a snow owl to represent me. Why snow owl, by the way? Because if you do you know the backstory of why I'm called Hikaze? Have you heard before?
Did I think because you thought that people doing kamikaze was cool until you found out what they actually did.
Yeah. So I wanted to find newfound meaning to replace the meaning of the word kaze, and kaze means wind. So I did think, considering that I really like owls, it would be nice if like an owl represented the kaze part of my name, you know. But I don't have that sort of ability to think about how to make it happen. There was a very nice Twitter artist who actually drew me as a fan art, and he took what I said. I can show you later when we
Send me the link. I want
towards
to see it.
towards the end of the call. But it was so beautifully done where he drew me like exactly as how I look. He gave me an outfit that I've never worn before, like a very oriental looking outfit with a snow owl. I was like, oh my god, this is like dream me right in this drawing. He literally emulated what I want. I was like so
Cookie
grateful. He
Snow Owl
doesn't
VTuber
understand.
bunny.
I probably will make a video very, very soon to talk about what he did, but like I was just so overwhelmed with him doing it. So yeah. And I think he gave me the perfect impression of um what I would want if I actually have a VTuber model. So is it a no? No, it wouldn't be. It can happen, but I don't know when I'll let it happen. Yeah. Would I permanently sit in a VTuber model? Not necessarily. I think it depends on the game. Sometimes, having my own personal face reaction would be nice, but other times, um, oh, in the past, right, when I stream Arknights, in between, I like to do just chatting streams. But I didn't like to do just chatting streams like how I do it nowadays, where I just turn on my camera, right, and then I'm just chatting in front of everyone. Um, Last time, I thought just chatting streams were better if I did it in VR chat. So I actually played VR chat, and then after I had a model and everything. So if I had my own model, I would probably use like that to just talk to people, because I think sometimes people might feel, I don't know why, people have, VTubing has a huge appeal. People just like to see animated character on the other end of the screen and just listen to them. And I get it, and maybe that's also kind of why I wish to have my own model someday. Yeah.
Someday. I mean, there are definite um what was it? Advantages. Like for example, you can't tell right now, but I'm still wearing my pajamas.
Oh.
And I could and sometimes I stream with those facial masks that girls wear to make their skin nicer. I stream with that sometimes. And sometimes if you see that my facial expressions are really stiff, it's because I can't move my face with the facial mask on it.
Mm, mm, mm.
So
It's,
you don't have to make yourself up, you don't have to make your background
yeah.
presentable. It's great.
Actually, you might want to answer a curious question that I think people who's watching this might want to know.
Yeah?
How easy it is to start VTubing or difficult?
Well, it depends. Like for example, if you're looking at examples like Hololive and Niji Sanji, like all those corporate VTubers, it's extremely difficult because
Because they have interviews and all.
although well that the corporate does a lot of work for you, but you also have to do a lot of work. You have to put in the hours to advertise yourself. Like, sure, you get the corporate backing behind you, but if you're by yourself, an independent VTuber, you have to worry about the costs. It's very expensive to start up as a VTuber with the same quality as a corporate VTuber. Like, for example, if you want a model like Galgura, for example, the
Mhm.
base price, the cheapest I've seen for that kind of model without the rigging is $1,000 USD
That's a
because
lot,
it takes hundreds of hours to make the model because they could be spliced off into for example, in order to make each individual hair move, the individual hair itself plus the shading and all the lighting has to be on separate layers on Photoshop.
right?
And it has to be a huge resolution. So often these models can have hundreds, maybe even thousands of layers put into it, which justifies the price. So in
Hmm.
that way, if you want to start off high quality, there's the financial block. And
Hmm.
then like I said about earlier about the debut culture, if you want a lot of what was it? Attention initially, you're gonna have to do a lot of to market yourself with social media because no one knows who you are. Try to make some connections, but meaningful connections, because nobody wants to be your friend only for them to be used as cloud, right? And then you have to commission artists if you don't make it yourself. it's very difficult in that way, but for me personally, since I learned all this myself, I'm pretty much like I made my own overlay, my own models and stuff. It didn't have as much of a financial hit to me initially, and of course I didn't have a debut, so it didn't I didn't pressure myself initially as well to be as good as a corporate VTuber. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't put so much pressure on yourself to be immediately successful, honestly, you could start like right now if you wanted to, because there's this thing that is called being a PNG tuber, where basically you have like a static model on stream and you can have like one or two expressions that you could switch between on the same like static character, and that's still kind of VTubing. It's like you trying out the culture without putting as much investment into it, and that's what I recommend people do because it's very easy to do that and then convert to a different type of streamer if it's not your thing. There's also, like, free models that a lot of people can give out where you could just, uh, do minor modifications. There's a lot of resources that you could look up to be able to start VTubing just to try it out and not necessarily put all your investments into it just to start off really well. As that's the main thing. Don't pressure yourself to be immediately successful, and you'll find a way to have, like, an easy gateway into it.
Mm.
Like,
You
you
know,
don't even need, the best webcam or iPhone. Like, I used a 10-year-old webcam that I stole off my brother's Xbox
oh my goodness.
initially. Like, all my shit was so bad.
But now
And I
you're
used a
using an
microphone
iPhone.
from Dollarama.
Mm-hmm. But right now you're using an iPhone as well to actually help you to get the screen
The
going, right?
different facial expressions, right? Like, I
Mm.
could even stick my tongue out now, right?
Oh my goodness. I've
And
never
puff
known
up
you
my
can do that. That's so special. It's a bit of a curious question also. Like, do you use OBS to stream? You do, right?
I used to use Streamlabs, but I moved to OBS so that my computer
Yeah,
won't try to commit
because
Sudoku.
OBS now has this like start virtual cam. I sometimes accidentally click it. I always wondered
Oh,
if that's the thing.
I'm not using virtual cam right now,
Hmm.
actually.
What is virtual
Or
cam
like
actually?
from OBS at least. Virtual cam is basically where you capture something on
Uh-huh.
your computer and not have to use like an actual camera as your source for it.
Ah, okay,
The
okay.
software I'm using for virtual cam right now is called VC Face. It's
Mm-hmm,
a VTubing program mainly for people who use like 3D models to be able to use this as like honestly like a fake webcam. As a
mm-hmm.
result, you could use this for like Zoom and everything, and it's really funny. During the
Oh,
pandemic, I used to talk to people on Zoom with this avatar too, and like you see like serious businessmen and them like talking like this, like an anime girl. They're not even blinking an eye because like they're used to my shit by now.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's very, very cute stuff. When you made this model, right? Do you made it with yourself in mind?
In a way, like the
Mm-hmm,
design for this Oni character actually came from an art challenge I did
mm-hmm.
many years ago. It's called Inktober, so the
Oh
challenge
yeah.
itself,
Mm.
yeah, you know Inktober, right?
It's
So
the one that people
basically,
have to do like a drawing every day of the October.
yep, and there's like a prompt list and stuff, and that year that I did Inktober, one of the prompts was the word mask. And the
Mm-hmm,
first thing I thought of was like an Oni mask, right? Because I'm also playing FGO and a lot of Oni characters in
mm-hmm,
there. So I drew this character, wearing a mask so many
mm-hmm.
years ago. And then when I was like wondering what I should do for my VTuber model, I actually modeled the clothes that I'm wearing right now after like clothes I actually own.
Mm-hmm.
I just made them more
Ah.
edgy to fit the Arknights aesthetic, like the straps and stuff, but I own clothes that actually look like this. And
Mm-hmm,
then I
mm-hmm,
put it on the Oni character I created for myself, because even though this character, I admit, some parts of it do look like me, but overall doesn't look like me. I mean, look at these horns and stuff.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Like, in that way, it's also a reflection of my inner self and my own creativity, right? I don't see this character as a separate entity for myself because it's made from like my personal my personal ideas, my personal struggles. It took me a very long time to brainstorm exactly how I wanted this character to look. So
Hmm.
she and I'm her.
Right. There's a curious, fun one as well, which is the fact that you've made such a VTuber model. Do you ever try to dress up as it?
What do you mean? It's
Meaning,
based on my own clothes, so I
so
dress up
do
like this
you,
every time I wear it.
as
Like a
in,
cosplay?
even, yeah,
Oh, well, I cosplay anyway, so, like,
yeah.
I theoretically can. I do have a long white wig. I have horns left over from a FGO cosplay I
Oh, so
did. I
it's not
already
done
own
yet,
these.
but you technically could.
I technically could with parts from other cosplays I've done, so why
Mm,
not?
mm, mm, mm. Right. That's very, very fun.
Mm.
Now, considering actually, right, you are if I try to recall, I think you're the seventh guest that I brought in for AK
Let's
Hangout. And
go.
you would be the first girl that I bring on. Which will
Oh,
surprise quite a few people because they thought
no
this is
maiden?
a yeah, they might think that it's a male centric game.
No
So
maidens? No
if
maidens?
even like yourself as a girl who plays the game, like do you feel that the game appeals very strongly to girls?
It does have its own appeal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I personally know a lot of female, like, content creators, whether they be streamers and artists. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that, there's a tendency to not feel like they wanna interact a lot with, like, Reddit or on, like, the official Discord, for
Mm-hmm.
example, because, there's this habit where if you reveal you're a girl, uh people in this community, some of them, not I'm not saying all of them, keep in mind I'm not targeting specific
Hey,
people.
whoever watch up to this point, you are hearing this now.
Like, there's this one time I went on a certain Discord server that was Arknights related, and then everybody started freaking out hearing my voice because they think I was a dude with a voice changer, and,
Mm-hmm.
like, they kept accusing me of being fake and stuff, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, that's not a very nice thing for people who have high-pitched voices like me." And then another time on the same server, because I was trying to give them a chance, because I was like, "Yeah, they seem kinda cool and normal, I'll go on VC and talk to them so they can be friends and stuff," and they're like, "It's a girl!" So,
Literally
like,
the definition of no maidens.
yeah!
They
It's
freak
just
out and everything.
like, we don't wanna be treated like something special in the community, even
Uh-huh.
though there are some girls who probably do wanna be, we just wanna talk about our anime waifus and husband knows in a silly gacha game where everybody loses because the gacha hates everybody, you know?
Mm. Nowadays I'm playing
So, yeah.
Valorant a lot, right? And Valorant has both female and male characters. So sometimes I will play like a female character because I like their abilities and all. And it has really happened 3 times that I get like a random player that's on my team suddenly like going all weird and stuff towards me because I play a female character and they're like, oh my goodness, you must be a girl and everything. And then afterwards I'm like, oh my god, please stop bothering me. I'll type in chat. And then the way that I'll scare them after a while, if they keep bothering me, is I'll turn on my mic and I'll just tell them to like shut the hell up. And they're like, oh my god, you're not a girl! No! And then they start shitting on me and everything and all. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
so
what is wrong with these people? I mean,
mm,
there's always a thing of like, come on, to all the fellow men out there who's watching this, even you're no maidens, treat girls with respect and they will treat you with respect back. Like, it's
yeah,
not.
that's one of the reasons why I found that, like, a lot of, like, my fellow female friends who play AK don't really want to interact with, sure, we have our own communities elsewhere, but when it comes to, like, mainstream ways to communicate, like, on Reddit or on Discord and other communities, we try not to make it obvious what our gender is, and we just talk kind of as if we're, like, gender neutral and stuff like that. We don't wanna give too many hints a lot of the time.
It does give me that sort of like small bit of worry within my own server. Sometimes like my own Discord server that I make. Thankfully there is a shift in demographic where there are quite a lot more girls that's within the server. But I do make it a point that everybody don't act all strange. It's not like you've never seen that before. Even if you've truly never seen that, because I don't know, you grew up in an all boys school or something, like it's not gonna be any different. You talk to them like the same. There's no need for a difference. I mean, um, as far as you can say that genders have differences, but it's not like you're gonna talk about it differently when you talk about your favorite food, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's still, I would say that the game definitely have the appeal to girls as maybe not the community specifically. That one depends on their comfort level to get into it. But in terms of games, it will get a lot of the girls to maybe say like not just the male operators, but even the female operators of the game as well. For you who have played the game for so long, what are some of your favorite operators?
Hold on.
Oh my goodness. This is a very, very, very hearty laugh that
Shall
you have gone with.
Well, you see, although I started playing the game for Siege, you see, I kind of got married and I'm currently in a very committed relationship.
Is this
Let's be honest, though, even from your perspective, you gotta admit, he's down bad for the doctor, right?
Oh, of course, of course. Yes, he is, he is. But like, as in, from the very start, the moment you saw him, you said you love him.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna tap that kitty. Cat boys! Cat boys!
If you say cat boys, do you like Phantom?
Yes.
Are there any
Oh
more
my
than
god.
that?
Can I tell you about like my Phantom story?
Yes.
Okay, so like it's my goal to collect all the 6-star male operators in the game and kind of build them up, right? Because I
Yep.
play there's a more of a bad name for it, but I'll call it male knights for now.
Yes.
So I kind of want to do male knights, right? So like obviously Phantom, you need him on a male knights team, right?
Yep.
And during his first read up, I was like, okay, I saved for like a month. Hopefully I'll get it. My luck is never usually this bad. I'm gonna hope and pray, right? Wait and hope, as the FGO players say. Anyway, so I rolled for him on stream. Like I was hyping myself up, and my audience was like hyped for me because they also want me to.
Get the Phantom.
Luckily, my audience is very wholesome. They want me to succeed sometimes when I don't scuff and right. So, I couldn't get him, and I was like crying a little bit on stream, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. His rate up goes for a little longer. His
Uh-huh.
rate up goes for a little longer. I could hopefully get like 1 or 2 more rolls before
It
he
goes off.
leaves.
Uh-huh.
And then like a very generous viewer donated a lot of money to help me get him. Like it's a very high number of
Mm-hmm.
assistance he like helped me with, and then I still couldn't get him. After so much money, like, and then people kept trying to donate money to help me, and I still couldn't get him. And then on the second read up, I tried again.
Wait, do you know how many pools you may have put into it?
I remember the money that was put into it, not necessarily the pulls, because the money made me thinking about the money that was put into it made me want to cry a little.
Are you open about it?
I kind of don't want to say it, but let's just say, in certain countries, it could probably be like someone's monthly half of monthly rent or something.
It is a lot. It would be a lot, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and then on the
mm-hmm.
second read up, I scuffed again.
Didn't get him
He
again?
didn't. Yeah, and then on the very last day of his read up was when I finally got him on a fucking YOLO ticket.
Oh my goodness. I think you screamed, most likely.
I did, and then I started singing like Phantom of the Opera songs because it's also like my favorite opera too. Because I
Uh-huh.
watched it in person and it's really great. Like my viewers from back then still make fun of me when I do it because when I go on account reviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you could put like comments on your friends' usernames just
Mm-hmm.
so that you could differentiate between your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of give them a ranking like cuz mine is a point-based system. I give them bonus points if it's funny, if they have funny friends remarks. And
Mm-hmm.
then my moderator in particular likes leaving me notes there. And then
Mm.
last time I did an account review for them, they're like, "Lottie, do you remember when Phantom didn't come home after spending so much money.
It's
And I
like
was
a
like, "What?
scar on you. Oh my god.
Emotional damage!"
Yes. Is
Now I
there
have
any
him at pot 2, so yeah.
any male ops still missing that exists in the game at the
Um,
moment?
that's like a 6-star now.
Oh, so not a
I
6 star,
have
that's it.
everybody.
Right. So
I don't actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I'm missing any 5 stars either. Yeah,
nice. So it has
I
come a
think
long
I'm good
way.
so far.
Do you,
I think
I
I'm
mean,
good so far. I have
apart from
everybody.
people donating to you in the game that point in time just to help you to get the pools, do you pay in the game?
I just do monthly. Just a
Okay.
monthly.
But there's still a decent amount of pools to get you all the male operators.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
nice.
Congratulations and hope to more male operators. I mean, there's a new guy, there's the new small boy, Evan Halls. He
Yeah,
looks
and
very, very
then,
good.
in Ian, we're waiting on Silver Ash's boyfriend, right?
Silver Ash's boyfriend, Gnosis.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is coming
he's the
very, very
next one,
soon
right?
actually. It's within this month at least, or the early next month. So it's gonna
He
be
looks
quite a
like
few.
Sebastian from Black Butler.
He does.
He does.
Similarities are there, yes. So
Especially
that's
his skin, holy.
um I think it's a nice little wrap up for what it is. To share with the people who's watching over here and the fact that you've been streaming for a bit. Actually, I apologize for not being too aware. But have you been running a YouTube recently?
Post there occasionally. I have to say that out of like the all the skills that a streamer and quote unquote influencer should have, I don't have the talent for editing.
Mhm.
It takes me a very long time to
It
even do
does, it
like
does.
1 minute videos and
Mm-hmm,
stuff. And usually when I'm off stream and I do have time off, I'm more like drawing art and stuff.
mm-hmm.
So I don't usually have a lot of time to edit videos anyway.
So meaning to say most
So
of the time you're
yeah.
dabbling on social media is both on Twitter and on Twitch.
Yeah.
But
I know
considering
I
that
should get better on YouTube though.
there's no need to, as long as you're doing whatsoever that you're comfortable with. But like considering this, what do you feel are your upcoming plans for? Let's just put it in a short time frame like this year.
Well, this coming Thursday we have a Spleef tournament in the Minecraft server for
Mm-hmm,
the Arknights content creators. We're still hot waiting for you to join us, by the way.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And then I've got a couple collabs coming up with also more Arknights content creators. I'm learning live 2D. So if
ooh,
I can, yeah, right?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
if I can like learn it to the competency I actually want to, it
mm-hmm,
might be cool if I could debut a 2D model instead of just 3D, right?
mm-hmm.
It'd be really cool. That's like my long-term goal though. It's
Which
gonna take a long time.
so, I mean, in a sense, maybe not even within the year.
Possibly, because I do have a career outside of streaming. So it's everything I have to do in between. So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that is a curiosity also. Like, do you think you'll be doing streaming for long?
Well, if anything pops off, I mean, like, ideally, you could keep doing this for as long as you can, and eventually I could quit my other job, right?
Mm-hmm,
But that's not like an immediate goal. It's like something that I'd love for it to happen if it could.
mm-hmm,
But as of right now, financially, I have to rely on my other job.
mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's
Right.
the same for you, right?
For now,
Especially with this
I'm a student for
economy.
now, but
Mm.
I am gonna take up the job. I think when my school term starts, I'm working for my school to be specific, like to become
Yeah, I remember you
an
mentioning that.
assistant. Yeah, for one of my professors, but it will take up some of my time, but I'm completely okay if it. And yeah, you're correct to say that finances is a matter of mine. Um, you a lot of people have the assumption that YouTubers and streamers will earn a lot, but in truth, it's not that fast. You do need a huge following in order to actually make it sustainable, which mine is also not there yet. So I can't call like what I'm doing right now exactly my job. Maybe someday that will happen, but until then, I would probably do it the same way as you are. If I stop being a student, that means it's time to enter the workforce. I might have to get a job as well that will also have to run together with this, which is a very scary thought also, because if I do happen, like for your job, you've made it in a way where it doesn't coincide with your streaming time. But then, because you work in the afternoon, typically, people tend to have like morning to night jobs, right? So they call it 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. And that one is quite a struggle because you wake up in the morning, then afterwards you're done with work, you go for dinner. Once you're home, you eat your food, not eat your food, but like you rest up and everything. And by that time, you probably want to sleep. Streaming is going to be a little bit tough to do by then, as compared to whether it's someone who's doing a job in a different shift. The habits can be a little bit different at times. So yeah, I can't imagine what would it be like years down, because I'm only the first year student. I'll finish my university in 3 years. Until then, I will decide my life path again, whether whatever that I'm doing now is truly what I want or to do something else. So yeah. But I shall not put answers into that just yet. I hope for yourself that this on its own can also pop up for you to gain a larger following. And for people who's watching this, if you have not followed LotteLabrys yet on Twitch, please do so right after this as well. Now, to the people who is watching today's video, whether they know you or don't know you, what would you like to say to them?
Make sure you follow twitch.tv/cookiekaze.
Make sure you follow
At
twitch.tv/LotteLabrys.
youtube.com/cookiekaze as well. I don't know how YouTube URLs work. Goes to show how often I'm on YouTube, goddamn.
Or how about the people, like specifically the people who's watching you and know you?
I'm not into feet. I don't care what feet says. It was just a joke, and he's just imposing all of his innate desires on me. I'm not into feet. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I love how you have to make this clear. It's been a long time coming where everyone has said that you like feet. And it has never gone away after a full-on year. That's so sad.
To be fair, I know I dug my own grave because that used to be my read message as kind of a joke, but now everybody thinks that way, and I'm like, you know what? That's my fault.
What if you grow into it and actually start liking feet for reals?
Well,
it's not a bad thing.
Well, I mean, as long as you're not like, I'm not gonna kink shame, but as long as you don't rope other people into it, then it's fine. And I'm sure people who are watching Arknights aren't necessarily into it for that type of body part. There may be some people, but like let's just focus on Arknights instead on my stream. I'm not gonna kink shame, but don't.
So in any case, yeah. Thanks for having Lotte on the stream. Thank you for being here with us. I hope that you all will follow her right after this. And if not, that would be the stop of the video. I'm going to stop recording right here. You can say bye-bye to all.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. First, everybody, don't forget that these are going to be in Cookies merchandise shop Sunday.
Oh
so make sure you get it when the merch drops.
Is there a picture of me with a hot dog in me? Okay.
Would you rather the bald one instead?
What bald one?
This bald one.
Oh my goodness. No. Okay, we gotta stop it here right now before people see more than this. All right. Goodbye to all of you.
I have a whole folder of this shit. I have a whole folder.
You can make blackmail and like find some way to give them out. All right, you can say bye-bye, Lotte.
So easy. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.